Alright, howdy there ladies and gentlemen. Howdy there, good day. Welcome to a new segment on my YouTube channel called Whiteboard Wednesday. Segment number one. I'm gonna make a nice intro for this. Like, welcome to Whiteboard Wednesday. Yeah. Enough of my awkwardness, because obviously you know how it is when you do something for the first time, you're a little bit awkward about it. But you know, when we get to episode 100, it's just gonna be another day in the life, and I know people aren't gonna be can't wait for it. But yo, anyway, let's just get into this, because as soon as I get into this, the awkwardness will disappear. Welcome to Whiteboard Wednesday, and today we're going to be going over something called the 7 Ps. Now, I read in a book a very long time ago, something called the 7 Ps, and it said that planning, preparation and pride. This was in 2020. This is when I first started my self-development journey, my first time starting my self-development journey, and I heard something and I'll never ever forget it. Planning, preparation and pride prevents piss poor performance. I'll say that again. Planning, preparation and pride prevents piss poor performance. Yeah, let me write that down. So I'm going to write that down. Oh, you can't see my boxes or something like that, man. Yeah, so planning, planning, preparation and pride prevents piss poor. I don't like swearing. I shouldn't really say that. P-I-S. I don't know if that's a swear word, but I don't want to say it though too much. Friends, performance. Yes. Excuse me if you see listen, I'm only doing one take for this stuff, man. I'm not about this 2-take stuff. Yeah. So planning, preparation and pride prevents piss poor performance. Look, we all want to perform. We all want to, and we're going to get into exactly what all this means. Look, we all want to perform. We want to perform at the highest level in everything that we do, whether that's physically, whether that's emotionally, whether that's especially when it comes to getting money, when it comes to, you know, being the best that you can be. We want to perform, and we want to prevent poor performance, don't we? Because do you know what? We all want to perform at the highest level. But do you know what? Look, I'll be honest with you guys. Have confidence that you actually do know how to perform well. Honestly, guys, you do. We all have it. Look. There's nothing that separates you that much between Steve Jobs and you, and Elon Musk and you. You both have one brain, 2 arms. You both all have 24 hours in a day. So we can all perform. Do you understand? We all can perform. But I think the key thing that we have to focus on is preventing not just poor performance, but piss poor performance. That's what we need to prevent. That piss poor performance where we're getting a D, an E. You know, if you had to grade our days where you look at the day and you're getting D, E, F. And in order to prevent not just poor performance, but piss poor performance, you need, plan. Is it 2 I-N-G? Yeah, planning. Yeah, you want these 3 things: planning, preparation, and pride. So important. So let's get into planning. Yeah, let's get into planning. Listen, planning, preparation, and pride. Listen, fail to plan, plan to fail. Simple. If you fail to plan, you plan to fail. Planning is so important. Like, I can't emphasize it. And look, listen. If you're young, you know, when a lot of guys watching this, you're young. You're young and you feel like you're young, you're maybe 20 years old, you're 20, or you're 20, and or even younger than that, you know, you're 19, 18, 17, 16 or whatever it is, but let's say you're 20, right? For you don't want to plan because you feel like, look, if I waste a year on this, that's 5% of my life. You know, that's how you look at things. Like, you might not think about it like that, but I know that's how you look at things. And you know what? Look, it is good. Speed equals success, and that's a whole nother video. That could be a whole nother Whiteboard Wednesday. Speed loves success. You know, you should be attacking things at speed. I'm all for that. But you need to be planning. If you don't plan anything, just because you should attack things with speed doesn't mean that you don't plan through it. I think the main reason why a lot of people, you know, don't go far or go well with things because they're not planning. They're not planning. I say this from personal experience, man. I'm not going to just say something without actually going through it. You don't want to plan. And just understand this, that planning doesn't take long. You know, I remember in school, no, we all say school is the indoctrination and blah, 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 blah. But you know what? It's not that. They teach you few good things. In school, I remember when you had to do these essay mark questions, and the teachers would advise us, look, if you want to get a good grade on this, even though, yes, you've got 30 minutes and, you know, it's very time restricted, they would always advise us, spend at least 5 minutes planning. 5 minutes planning, 5 minutes to plan with 25 minutes to write is better than 30 minutes to write. Listen, if you're going to plan your week, listen, if you've got, you know, 4 hours to work, spending 30 minutes to plan and working for 3.5 hours is way better than spending 4 hours just working. Because do you know what? You'll be doing 4 hours, but do you even know what you're going to work on? Do you even know? There's a law. I forgot it now. But there's a law. I forgot what the law is, but it basically explains. Listen. Basically, I'll explain to you the concept. Listen, if you give yourself 1 hour to clean if you give yourself 10 minutes to clean your room, or 1 hour to clean your room, or 1 day to clean your room, it will take up that time. It will just take up that time. Like, I don't know, like the other day I remember, like, for some reason my room just haven't been interested in cleaning it for the longest, and it's just been there, and I just thought to myself, I'll do it tomorrow, and I gave myself like 5 minutes to clean, and I cleaned it for like 5 minutes. You understand? Because I had a plan. I had the end in mind. And for planning, guys, I'll just say, look, you have to have the end in mind. If you want to know how to plan, have the end in mind. Figure out where exactly do you want to get to and start working backwards. That's it. That's simple. It's gonna be a long video, you know, and I don't mind. We'll get shorter and shorter as time goes by. But for today, this is gonna be a long ass video. But yeah, have that end in mind. Like, when Apple create the iPhone, you know, or forget that, you know, when Nike or Jordan create this shoe, they don't start with the sole and then, you know, add these little bits here. Like, the person already had this shoe envisioned on paper. Do you know what I mean? They already had it to the T on paper. They already knew. Look, they already had a basic sketch out of how they wanted this to look like. And they started with the end in mind. Then we say, okay, we need to get this material, that material. Then we can start going out and doing these things. And we can apply that to any project, man. You have to start with the end in mind. Don't just, you know, I mean, look, you need to have at least some sort of vision. You know, where there is no vision, the people perish. You know, a great prophet said that. Where there is no vision, the people perish. When you have no vision, it's like you're walking blind. And when you're walking blind, that's when you're gonna bump into stuff. You don't even know where you're going. But when you at least have some sort of vision of where you're going to go, if I at least have a vision of where I'm going to go, even though there might be many, you know, when you at least have a vision, of where you want to go, when you at least have a vision of where you want to go, even though there's going to be many hurdles, ups and downs, sometimes you're even going to be going backwards, bro, like, but at least you know you're going backwards. Do you know how? Because you know where you're trying to go. If you don't know where you're trying to go, how do you even know you're on the right track? You know, it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. So you have to have you have to have a plan. You have to have a plan, man. You have to have a plan. You have to have a plan, man. You have to know, you have to know that I'm gonna do step 1, and you need to know when step 1 is completed. You need to know step 2 and know that step 2 is completed, and step 3 and step 3 is completed. Do you know these big companies like Apple plan 50 years in advance? You know, Apple just released their new headset thing. You do know that they had that. They were working on that 7 years in the making. 2023, so they're working up 2022, 1, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16. Since 2016. What were they doing in 2016? What iPhone would they release then? iPhone, what were we on 13? 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8. They were doing like the iPhone 7. The iPhone 7, 8. And they had that headset thing. They had a plan. They had a plan, you know. They had a plan all the way back then. You guys are trying to do, you're trying to do things in a day. You know, you're trying to move your speed. Again, as I said, and I'll say it again, I understand why you want to rush things, because when you're 20, 1 year equals 5% of your life. And that's massive. You know, this is why somebody who's 50 years old, somebody who's 50, they're going to always plan more. Because 1 year for them is, 1 year for them is like, you know, 1 year for them is what? What is it? 10%, 5%. Oh, you know what? Let's work backwards. My maths is bad here. 5%. Yeah, 1 year for them is like, is that like 2.5? Because like 10%, 5. 10% is 5, 2.5, yeah, 1.25%. You know? So for them, they're going to be moving a lot slower. And like, it's just simply, man, good things take time, man. Good things take time. Simple as that, man. Good things take time. Good things take time. Good things take time. Preparation. Listen, collect your tools, man. You know, preparation. I mean, I want to give an Abraham Lincoln quote here. He said, if I only had, I think he said, if I only had 4 hours to chop down a tree. Let me get the quote up, man. Let's be right over here. Abe Lincoln said, was it Lincoln? Chop down a tree? Yeah. Give me 6 hours to chop down a tree, and I will spend the first 4 sharpening the axe. Give me 6 hours to chop down a tree. I will spend the first 4 sharpening the axe. Give me 6 hours to chop down a tree, and I will spend the first 4 sharpening the axe. Preparation. You're preparing yourself. You have the plan. The plan is, I'm going to chop down this tree. I know what my end in mind is going to look like. I know that at the end, I want that tree to be chopped down. But now I need to prepare. Collect your arsenal, your weapons. When we go out to war, back in it, you know, when war is happening, you prepare yourself. You don't go to war naked. You prepare yourself. You get your guns, you get your tanks, you get your missiles, whatever you have, but you prepare yourself. When you go out camping, you're gonna go on an adventure. You don't just go there naked, hoping for the best, like we're living in Neanderthal times. You go and you prepare yourself. You make sure you have your tent. You make sure you have your gear. Prepare yourself. Don't go into situations naked. When Usain Bolt I watched the Usain Bolt documentary. This guy was preparing himself. The best players, Messi, Ronaldo, what's his name? Michael Phelps. He said that he never missed 8 years straight of training or something like that. 7 years straight of training. It's preparation. And like Abraham Lincoln said, let's just say AB, Abraham Lincoln, AL. A lot of people, if they had 6 hours to chop down a tree, they'd spend the whole 6 trying to chop it. But for him, he said, I'm going to prepare myself first. I'm going to spend more time preparing. Listen, I love it. Usain Bolt documentary, it's on Netflix. I think it's amazing that Usain Bolt spends 4 years preparing himself to run for 10 seconds. That's my quote. The Olympic athletes spend 4 years preparing themselves for a few seconds or few minutes or maybe a few hours of results, of performance. You will spend more time preparing than you will executing. Let me say that again. You'll spend more time preparing than you will executing. Get that into your brain now. The preparation is always longer than the execution. Jesus Christ is a really influential figure. He didn't start his ministry until he was 28? And it only lasted for 4 years. That means he was preparing for 28 years. Martin Luther King. I don't know too much about when he started, but I'm pretty sure he spent, footballers. You don't start becoming a successful footballer till you're 18, 19, 20 years old. And these guys will start playing football since they were from early. You'll hear them, I was kicking a ball when I was 1 year old. Preparation, what a lot of people are spending more time executing than they are preparing. And that's why your execution fails. I'm speaking for myself. A lot of the time you see online, action. You've got to do action. Don't get it twisted. Yes, you've got to spend more time actioning than planning. Remember, we said planning doesn't take that. Don't get planning and preparation mixed up, guys, man. Don't get planning and preparation mixed up. Do not get planning and preparation mixed the flip up, bro. Don't get it mixed up. Planning is short. Preparation is long, though. Preparation is long. Don't get the two mixed up. A lot of the action should be spent in the preparation, If anybody who's watching this, if you are below the ages of 30 and you're watching this, let me tell you something. If you are below the age of 30 and you're watching this right now, you're still in your preparation season. Forgive me if I keep staring over here because I'm looking at the screen. I should be looking at the camera. If you're below the age of 30 and you're watching this, you're still in your preparation season. You're still in your learning season. Yeah, I'm in my learning season. You're in your learning season. I'm sorry, it's just a fact. Male, female, whoever you are, don't care. You're still preparing. You're still in your preparation season. Start looking at all successful men and women of the world. Most of the time they spent was in preparation, and when it was really time to execute, it's only a few minutes. And come on, man. A movie is 2 hours long, but they might spend 2 or 3 years creating it. Every day, hours, all day. They put the Kendrick Lamar. They make music. They make music that's 2 or 3 minutes long, but they spend hours in the studio, days, weeks, months, years for 1 2-minute track, man. Crazy. Preparation, man. Pride. Do you know what? I was going to get into pride, but you know what? I'm actually taking that out. I'm actually gonna say prayer. That's for me. Whether you want to believe it or not, no. That's for me. Prayer, big. Planning, preparation, and prayer prevents piss poor performance. Planning, preparation, and prayer prevents piss poor performance. Whether you want to believe it or not, we live in a spiritual world. Yeah, you know, we see in the physical world, but there's something deeper, and that's spiritual. What prayer does is, prayer. You see, God can't come on this earth and do the things that you want to do for you. You know what I mean? God can't just come here. You know what I mean? Like when you ask God, you know, God, please give me $1 million. He can't come here and give you £1 million. You know, God, please help me out of this situation. He can't, you know, I need a God, give me a car. Like he can't physically come. No, you know what I mean? He can't do that. But prayer is in a sense giving God permission to do what he wants to do on this earth. You understand? The tongue is the tongue is mighty powerful. You know, both life and death are in the tongue. That's what I'm gonna just write here. The tongue is mighty powerful. In it is found life and death. That's all prayer really is. Prayer is just you using your words. You know, yeah, if you really want to drift off, because I know there's going to be some people here who, you know, don't believe, which is crazy. They don't believe, you know, spiritually God. But just to let you know, like, prayer is just using your words, man. It's just using words. And if you don't believe that your mouth is powerful, then I can't even help you at that point. If you don't believe that saying stuff like, you know, I am gonna be like, you know, just saying like, you know, you're gonna get through this. You're gonna be successful in this. Just saying good things, you know, just saying positive things, you know, saying where you're gonna go, you know, and where you're gonna be and where you're gonna get to, you know, knowing, being confident, not saying any negativity. Just that alone, you know, they say what's it called? You know, the word spelling. You know, when you're spelling, it's like spell. You know, you cast a spell. Like, words are powerful. And if you don't know that, then I can't help you. If you don't know that, I remember Logan, was it Logan or Lake Paul? I don't even know the other guy's name. Logan or Logan Paul? Jake Paul, that's it. He said that he had a piece of paper, some affirmations or something, and he would read them. He would read them on his you know, you brush your teeth. Yeah, every time he brushed his teeth, he'd read them every single day. And he said something like he read them every single day for X amount of years, and look where he is now. And I think they just said stuff like, you know, I will get 1 million subscribers on YouTube. You know, I will have 100 million views, and look where he is now. He's doing that exact thing. Prayer, man. Prayer, it's allowing the will of God to work in your life. You know, it's allowing the will of God to work in your life. That was the number one prayer. That was the number one prayer prayed by Jesus. He would just always just say, will of God, will of God, will of God. And look at him, most influential person to ever live. Prayer, you know, that's just using your words. You've got to cover yourself spiritually, man. You've got to say, there's so many. Listen, people are saying bad words against you too, man. So if you're not counteracting that with good words, man, like, I don't know what you can say. I think you can have all the planning. You can be as well prepared as you can be, but if the prayer's not there, it's just not gonna go through. You don't think everybody in the world has planned and prepared themselves well but you just don't know when disaster might strike, man. We live in a world, you just don't know. You just don't know when disaster might strike. You just don't know, man. Anything can happen. You can be as well prepared and planned, but anything can happen. Anything can happen, and the spiritual world is deeper than the physical. this world that we live in is much more deeper than what you see with your own eyes. You know? Much, much more deeper. Much, much more deeper. Planning, preparation, and prayer prevents piss poor performance. Prevents. What's the definition of prevents? What is the definition of prevent? What's the definition? I like Merriam-Webster. I like Merriam-Webster, you know. Or I like looking at like synonyms. So to keep something, to keep from happening or to keep from happening or existing. Ooh. Let's put that there. To keep from happening or existing. Ooh. Ooh, ooh. To hold or keep back. Hold or keep back. Ooh. To deprive of power or hope of acting. Ooh. Deprive of, I'm liking these, man. Deprive of power. Woo! Eee! Eee! So when by doing these things, we keep from happening or exit, like it just doesn't, the piss poor performance doesn't even exist. It won't even exist, bro. So you're just gonna be succeeding and you won't even know. You're just gonna be just doing well and you won't even know what you kept from existing because you did the planning, the preparation, and the prayer. You're gonna hold it back or keep back. Listen, whether you want to believe it or not, everything, listen, if you don't water a plant, it's going to die. If you don't maintain a building, it's going to crumble and fall. If you don't maintain a car, it's going to fall. If you don't maintain these bodies, in the physical world that we live in, the physical realm that we live in, everything is literally manufactured. Jeff Bezos's his investor notes that he makes. The last one that he ever did, I read it, and he was talking about, he basically was saying that, look, Amazon is going to die. He was just basically saying that, like, if you don't keep putting in the work and just putting in the action and watering the plant and maintaining the car and maintaining your body, everything's made up to die, man. Like, do you know what? Piss poor performance is just inevitable, bruv. It's just inevitable. It's just inevitable. So you have to do something that's going to hold it back, bro. That's going to keep it back. Because it's literally just looming on you, bro. Do you know what, bro? Like, bruv, like, I don't know how to say this, but like, bro, like, I don't want to say this without sounding stupid, but like, you know what? It's inevitable that you will die from starvation unless you plan when you're gonna eat and prepare the food that you're gonna eat and obviously pray for thanks for the food too. Like, it's inevitable. It's inevitable that you will die from starvation. Like, if I just stand here right now, you know, and just stay here for 70 days, bro. Like, it's not a good thing, you know what I mean? It's just inevitable, bruv. Like, no matter how much praying I do, bruv. No matter how much praying I do, bruv. If you don't just do nothing for 1 month, bro, for 3 months, bro, you don't eat, bro. Like, it's not good. No. And you know what? Like, yeah. You get me? Yeah. Like, and no matter how much, like, planning, like, you can plan all day. Okay, I'm gonna eat tomorrow. I'm gonna eat this day. But if you don't actually prepare the food, it's inevitable. So you all were literally like, there's this one quote that like, we're just fighting poverty, man. We're just fighting poverty. I'll be real, guys. We're just fighting poverty. Wake up and fight poverty. Wake up and fight poverty. That's all we're really doing, bro. We're just preventing poverty from happening. We're just holding it back. We're just keeping it back. All we're trying to do is just deprive poverty of its power over us. Because it's just looming on our head. Most of the world is in poverty. Most of the world is in poverty. What makes you so different? Majority of the world is on very low income brackets. They're in poverty. So what makes you so different? Unless you do the planning, the preparation, the prayer, you're just going to be just like everybody else. What would they do? Nothing special, nothing to even cry about. Most of the world is in poverty, you know? Most of the world is not rich. So it's just an inevitability. So all we're doing is we're just trying to deprive it of its power. Poverty has if you're not where you are right now, if you have the piss poor performance, it's because piss poor performance has power over you, and all we're trying to do is just deprive it of its power, man. Deprive it of its power. Piss. I mean, I don't like using that word piss because I feel like it's a little bit of a... Have I got a call? No, I haven't. Have I? No, I haven't. But, piss. I mean... I like to say... I want to use the word poo, you know. Prevents poo poor performance. Piss. Piss gets straight to the point though, innit? Piss definition. You know, when someone says you're taking a piss, I don't know if you guys from other countries know what that means. I want to see Urban Dictionary for this. I want to see Urban Dictionary. Piss. A vulgar way of describing the natural bodily function in which the body releases toxins. I went on an Urban Dictionary for this. Or has Merriam-Webster got something for me? We all know what, you know what, yeah. We yeah, I mean, like, a vulgar. You know, it's not a nice word, man, it's vulgar. You know, we all know it means to urinate. Like, there's nothing more disgusting. There's nothing more disgusting than... Like, I don't think there's any, like, you know, spitting on someone is pretty disrespectful, but man, I don't think there's anything more disrespectful than pissing on someone. I don't, yeah, I don't think there's anything more disrespectful. I think, yeah, you spit on someone and, I mean, you spit on a man spits on you and it's automatic, you know, there's beef, but bro, I mean, to piss on someone, you know, yeah, there is no, that is ultimate disrespect. That's just bad, you know. That's just bad. That's just bad. This word here. I don't like this word. Poor. Poor. Somebody just test it. What's the definition of poor? What's poor definition? Poor. Merriam-Webster. Poor. Piss poor perform. That's the word that we're trying to stay away from. Poor. Act of you. Yeah. Poor. Poverty. Poor. A lack of material possessions. Relating or characterized by poverty. Less than adequate. Small in worth. Inferior in quality or value. Woo! I like that one. Inferior in quality or value. Inferior in quality or value. You know, lack. So, because we you know what, we all know this. I know we all know this. So this is where, you know, things can get really wrapped up. This is where things can really get wrapped up. But this thing is really mad. Yeah, but this is where we can wrap things up. Let's put performance. Performance. The execution of an action. Woo. Performance is the execution of an action. You know? Fulfillment of a claim, promise, or request. Fulfillment of a claim, promise, or request. I love that one. I love that one, bro. Bro, I love that one. 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 So, this word, I don't want to say it anymore. I don't want to say it too many times. I don't want to say this word too many times. But, inferior in quality or value. So now let's mix these two words up. Inferior. So this word means inferior in quality or value, or lack. You know, lack. And we all know when something is in lack, we don't want that. We all want abundance. And the execution of action, or I love this one, fulfillment of a claim, promise, or request. That's all. You know, your quality of performance is measured by the fulfillment of a claim, promise, or request. That's what quality of performance is measured by. Someone who performs at a higher level, all that just means is that the claims and promises that they make, they just always fulfill on that promise. You know, that's all it really is. You know, or that's all it really is. Like, I think of Elon Musk, like, before Tesla, or when he was just in the beginning stages of Tesla, they would have said he was operating at a low performance. Why? Because he wasn't fulfilling on the claim and promise and request that he made, that he was making a good electric vehicle. Because he just started, he just started, you know, they weren't really at the level that it should have been, you know. Maybe they weren't going on the range that they're supposed to go. They weren't the price, because I think the first one was the Tesla Roadster, wasn't it? And that was very expensive. So, you know, he wasn't really fulfilling, and his claim was, you know, electric vehicles for all. And it's like, not everybody can afford this. Not everybody wants to do this 100 miles. That's not convenient. So he wasn't fulfilling on the claim, promise, or request that he made, and that's why he was operating at a low performance. But now he's operating at high performance. Why? Because he's fulfilling on the claim, promise, and request that he's making. The cars can go a longer range. The cars are much more cost effective. And the claim and promise made, which was electric vehicles for all, is becoming more and more fulfilled. That's all it is, and it's the execution of an action. It's the execution of an action. How do you execute on it? You know, actions are definitive. You know, there is what I mean by this is that there's only one truth to action. So if I say punch, the action of punching, you know, there's a million ways that you can punch. There's a million ways you can punch, but there is only one form of punching. So yeah, you can punch like this, that's still a punch. Me doing this is still a punch, but then there's a better execution of punching, which is doing that. You know what I mean? So I've executed, this is a better execution than, you know, doing that. Simple as that, you know? I like to break things down. You know? I'm performing at a low level if my claim is I will make $1 million by the end of the year, and I make 10,000. You performed at a low level. Simple. You performed at a high level if you made the claim that you'll make 100,000 and you make 300. But that's a topic for a whole nother day. That's your Whiteboard Wednesday. 7 please. Planning, preparation, and prayer prevents piss poor performance. Catch you guys later.